Hi, I'm Steve, the Introverted Traveler. I've made it my mission in life to explore the beaches, deserts, mountains, and even cityscapes around us, and to do so while avoiding contact with as many people as possible. And although I will never hang out with you for any reason, I do invite you to join me on my journey. Come and see the world through the eyes of an extreme introvert. On this edition, we are on the coast of Oregon, on our way to the peak of Neahkahnie Mountain. Along the way, we will travel through lush forests, climb over fallen trees, navigate over rough trails, and then take in the breathtaking views of the ocean landscape below. This, and much more, on this Introverted Travels. Greetings, and we're back again on yet another adventure. And today, well, I'm not sure you can see it yet, but there's a huge body of water out there. That's because I'm on the Oregon coast. Today, I am up near Seaside, Oregon, which is almost at the very top of Oregon, on the coast, as I said. We're doing the Neahkahnie Mountain. Now, I may have completely just butchered that name. You know I can barely say my own name without butchering it, so I'll put the actual name of the trail here. We are in Oswald West State Park. And again, I don't know if you can hear it, but there's annoying noises of cars buzzing by because I am right next to Highway 101. Highway 101 is down there someplace. And at the trailhead, which we'll talk about in just a second, you have to run across Highway 101 like you're playing a game of Frogger. Now, I kind of look like the frog from Frogger, so you know I'm like trying to get my ass across the road just to get to the actual trail that comes up here. This is a supposedly 4.2 mile hike, which of course it means it's probably closer to 5 miles. Thank you, all trails. And it's about 2 miles or so up that way. We're gonna go up there somewhere. And then of course 2 miles back down to your Frogger play area. But let's forget about all that. So that's the logistics. You know where I am, you know how long it's gonna be, you know all that stuff. The trailhead. Unfortunately, the parking area, which is across the street from the trailhead, was almost, well, it wasn't almost, about 70% full, which to an introvert means it is overflowing. But it was literally right off the 101, which means that there's people, you know, going down the other trails, which go down to the beach, you know, gawking at the ocean, looking at the sights, and so on and so forth. Needless to say, there were a bunch of cars, which means that somewhere out here, there may be a bunch of people. Hey, it's the same thing every week. Unfortunately, the planet-killing asteroid has not come. The interdimensional aliens have not come. And I still have to put up with my fellow humans. But at least I get views this week. I mean, look at that. Hopefully you can see all that on the GoPro. There's some breakers out there somewhere around there. That big blue thing, that's the Pacific Ocean. Usually if there's a big blue thing in my videos, it's the Pacific Ocean because I live on the West Coast. But yeah. All right, I'm gonna go up this trail. It's a series of steep switchbacks. We're gonna get to the top. We're gonna hopefully be able to see it. It's a fairly clear day, so unless, you know, the foggeting rolls in, we're gonna be able to see the water. We're gonna be able to see the landscape. Okay, I'm heading up the mountain. Let's do this. Welcome to Jurassic Park. I swear, it totally looks like those movies out here. But Also, I think there might be some other hikers down the trail behind me, because I thought I heard a child yelling up the trail. So I'm pretending that there's no humans back there, because that would destroy my solitude, drain my soul and my will to live on a dangerous trail where I need my will to live. And I'm just pretending like it's a pack of velociraptors hunting me, because the idea of one of those giant sickle claws like cutting me open and my guts spilling out is still less painful and terrifying than having to think about interacting with other hikers. That's a nightmare. I'd rather be eaten by gigantic lizards, even though the movie velociraptors are not accurate to real velociraptors. Those things were about the size of chickens, but yeah. So I'm out here, in the really cool, beautiful woods, thinking about being eaten by movie dinosaurs, just to mask my social anxiety of having to say hello and good morning to other people. So that's how my life's going. How are you? Well, here's an update. I'm still in the woods. I mean, the woods are beautiful, and I don't mind being in them, but yeah, still making my way to the top. And according to All Trails, although I am about a mile and some change into this hike, I'm nowhere near the top yet, even though it's supposed to be just another mile. So you would think I'm halfway there, but on their little topographic map that they have, the little shows you the elevation and where you are accordingly, I'm like a quarter of the way there, which goes to show you that All Trails is full of shit, because All Trails is full of shit. So yeah, as I often say, the rule of thumb is when you have All Trails, either add at least half a mile to the mileage, or just take your phone and chuck it into the forest or throw it off a cliff, because it's basically just as useful. But yeah, so we're headed to the top. So far, I have been completely alone out here, just with my thoughts of death and brutality and, the end of existence. The whole idea that the universe is meaningless and that life is meaningless and we're just wasting our oxygen on existing in a painful world where there's no point. Those thoughts, those will always run through my head when I'm, out here in beautiful places that I should be, happy about. Did one of you hit the annoying asshole switch? Because all of a sudden, there were people raining down on me from all directions, coming down the trail, going up the trail. It was such a wonderful first mile. It was quiet, it was peaceful, and then they showed up. Now, I will say, they're not too loud, but the fact that they exist, it's such a burden on me. I mean, I have to exist in the same space as other people. So far, I'm over a mile in. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It's a semi-nice day. There's a little bit of sun out. But there's other human beings out here, and that is fundamentally wrong. And just as I was filming that, some dude came out of the woods holding, I think, like a rubber ball maybe, or like a basketball, or maybe it was a small gourd. Could have been a severed human head. I don't know. I didn't get a good look at him, but yeah, came running out of the woods. Of course, he was running, so it probably was a severed human head. So yeah, up ahead there may be a lifeless torso. Stay tuned for that. The joys of hiking. I mean, the joys of other people. But yeah, weird guy running through the forest holding a ball or possibly a pumpkin. It's another one of those Sundays. Well, any hopes that I'd have a quiet hike full of solitude and peace have just completely fallen apart. Now, of course, I'm literally right next to Highway 101, so I don't know why I should be surprised, but I don't know. This trail is like out in the bushes, and it's really hard to see even from the road. So I was hoping, I was fingers crossed that this is one of those hikes where nobody's here, no one knows about it except for, you know, the weirdos on all trails. And if you're using all trails, you're a special type of person. I should know because I use all trails. But no, there's been people, there's been mundane conversations. There's luckily been a dog, but only one dog, so it didn't cancel any of the humans out, according to, you know, introverted math. There's been weirdos carrying gourds or heads or something through the woods. No solitude to be had. But at the moment I'm by myself, and it is quite beautiful when I'm alone and I can listen to the birds chirping. I can hear that. I can hear the wind. And in the distance, the ocean. That's when it's really nice out here. But then like 2 seconds later, a bunch of weirdos come storming through talking about their moms, cousins, friends, bosses, dog, or some weird crap like that, and it smashes it. But while I have it, here's some Zen for you. Okay, I have no idea if you can see that. Someone put that thing up so high, I can barely see it. But it says, life-giving rain comes. The happy earth wakes up, smiling. It loves to bathe itself. Carol Jean Ewick, or something like that. So, this isn't really a sign that I'm going to make fun of because, you know, it's just a quote and that's cool. But why the hell did you have to put it 10 feet up? Now, I already know the answer to that because there's gaggles of you. And that seems to be my favorite word lately because it just describes, you know, a whole bunch of stuff at one single time. But it's apt here because there's gaggles of you out there apparently carrying spray cans, Sharpies, X-Acto knives. And if you had your will, that lovely sign that has, you can't probably see it, but there's like an etching of a flower and there's the quote. That lovely sign would have swastikas and anarchy signs and dicks drawn all over it in the name of art. You can't see the quotes, but art, according to you people. But yeah, that's why they put it 10 feet up. I mean, I get it, but I mean, I'm old. I don't want to stretch my neck. I'm going to throw my back out just looking up. I mean, come on. All right. The top is literally right there. Let's go get this done. That apparently is the scrambling, so it's not rock scrambling, it's branch scrambling? Looks like something out of a horror novel, but let's get it done. just experienced the worst hell that I've ever experienced on a hike. And I've experienced quite a few hells and have ranted about every single one of them. So I get to the peak. I was going to do this whole thing. I was going to film. I was going to take photos. I was going to do, the whole grand tour. I get up there and there's people talking, having huge mundane conversations. It's this beautiful lookout over the Pacific Ocean, and they're talking about their jobs and where they're from and what they do. And then most of the herd, and it by that point was indeed a herd, left, and 2 people were remaining, and they would not leave. Not only that, of course, they were hogging the best spot. So I was like behind a tree. I couldn't see anything, couldn't film, Well, I mean, okay, nobody needs to move because I'm filming, but when there's other people around and you're hogging the one spot, take your moment and get out. But no, there's no trail etiquette in a, me first world. Well, okay, finally, they decide to leave right as a new herd is coming. So of course I get the camera out really fast. I shoot my video really fast as I start to leave because I can't take it. I'm about to leap off the cliff because out comes more people. And then the Bluetooth speaker came out and the reggae music started playing. Now about that time I wanted to just nosedive off the rocks, but I was halfway down anyway. Then I ran through the forest, somewhat sobbing. And I'm here, ranting to you. All right, so I'm back in the forest. I'm back in the woods. I am running away from the herd. I've had enough people. I've had enough trauma. Let's never speak of this again. So I started climbing over that log, and it was rocking underneath my weight. And earlier I ran into a branch and obliterated it. I feel like a T-Rex. I mean, I've been using Jurassic Park analogies this entire hike, but yeah, I'm on a rampage through the forest apparently. And with all my bulk, I'm destroying tree limbs and, taking out tree trunks. And yet, I can't do anything about Bluetooth speakers and people's children screaming through the forest and people having mundane conversations. I can battle nature, but I can't tolerate people. Somebody needs to drop me on an island full of genetically modified dinosaurs. I think I'd do just fine there. I mean, the dinosaurs don't irritate me. They might try to eat me, but still better than hello and good morning. Okay, I don't know if you can see that right about there-ish. That is the biggest fungus I've ever seen. And trust me, I've seen a lot of fungus. But yeah, that thing's that's gotta be 2 feet wide. That's a big mushroom, or I actually don't know what it is. Again, I'm not a scientist. I don't know anything about tree fungus, but I know that'd be big. And it's finally something I can talk about that's not other people, because so far this trail's been nothing but a social nightmare. But leave it up to nature to save us with gigantic, huge tree fungus. I wish I could get closer, but it's up off the trail, and leave no trace. Don't leave the trail, and leave the tree fungus be. But yeah, giant tree fungus. Incredibly exciting finding. Well, for some of us, that's there are some academics that would explode in their heads over that giant tree fungus. So the fact that I'm showing it to you is a gift. Be grateful that you get to see the gigantic tree fungus. All right, so surprisingly for me, I'm making good time out here. I'm going downhill, but I mean, usually when I go downhill, I actually go slower than when I go uphill. So who knows? I'm still feeling it in my knees because I'm 44, almost 4. Oh, I'm going to be 45 next month. I mean, I was just 20. And then yesterday I was just 30. And now I can literally hear the Grim Reaper scraping his scythe on my window every night. Time is a cruel, cruel mistress. But at least I'm making good time, you know, going down the hill. That was a weird segue, but what I really wanted to say was now that I'm away from the absolutely cool area, you know, with the nice views and everything, the peak, there's hardly anybody out here. I've passed a couple of people, but I don't understand this phenomenon. I've talked about it extensively in the past, but you can be on a trail for miles and miles and hardly see anyone, if at all. And the minute you get to that cool thing, that waterfall, that volcano, that whatever it is, they're everywhere. They sprout like flowers. I don't understand it. And it's like the universe's cruel joke. It's like, oh, here's this wonderful, you know, serene, beautiful, quiet forest with the birds chirping and the sun shining and the green leaves everywhere and the flowers, and it's going to be wonderful. You're going to be relaxed. You're going to have solitude. Oh, by the way, there's going to be a Bluetooth speaker at the peak, and there's going to be people ranting and raving and I don't understand it, universe. I mean, I understand the basic laws of physics, but I don't understand the basic laws of irritating humans. I just don't get it. I don't get where they're coming from. I mean, do they just sit up there and wait? I mean, I just... But it doesn't matter. I'm down here now. I'm in the beautiful forest. Things are relaxed. I've done my mantra. No humans. No humans. And all's better. I mean, it's not good because I'm still scarred from, you know, the mundane conversations and the reggae music, but and the children screaming. But that's in the past. Let's focus on the trail ahead of us, and let's just relax. No humans. No humans. It's time to play How Low Can a Middle-Aged Man Go? This is not going to end well for anybody. All right, here we go. Okay. Down. Down. Oh boy. Oh, jeez. Oh, there's my 20s right there. Oh, now my 30s. Oh, okay. I failed 40. Okay. Well, I didn't die. I didn't have a heart attack. And I think I may still have some vertebrae left. I swear, I really should start an OnlyFans. It's just me, you know, dry humping down logs on the trail all day. But let's see if I can do this one. Okay, come on. Okay, I can feel it. I can feel the middle age kicking in. Oh, there goes my spine. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. I've almost got it. Ooh. I got a twig in the butt cheek. That's not good. Twig in the butt cheek. Okay. There we go. All right. You pay to see that, right? I am on the final stretch. I don't know if you can hear Highway 101 below me, but there's the Pacific Ocean and the Oregon coast. So I'm getting closer and closer to the trailhead, and of course that means closer and closer to my car. So I figured it was a good time, and we're going to do this as fast as possible because you know why. So, trail rating, scale of 1 to 10. 1 is utterly miserable for an introvert. It is introvert hell, and that of course is Disneyland on the 4th of July, the number of people that you would find in that situation, with children screaming, adults screaming, Donald Duck screaming, Mickey Mouse torturing Donald Duck, Minnie Mouse, you know, trying to kill Daisy with a cleaver, all that type of stuff. That's a 1 on the scale. That represents the worst possible scenario. A 10, however, is the beautiful, lovely, ice field in the middle of Antarctica with just you and the penguins. Not a single person around for hundreds of miles. It's summer. The ice is cold, but it's not terrible. The sun is out. The penguins are quacking. It's introvert nirvana. So on that scale of 2 extremes, 1 to 10, this trail is about a 1.75. I mean, okay, so it's not Disneyland the 4th of July. I'll give it that. We'll probably bump it up to about a 2. But the amount of cliched, awful behavior I saw going on at that peak. I mean, everything that I've ranted about for the last 2 years was on display. We had people hogging stuff. We had people talking mundane conversations. I'm clicking off the points with my fingers here. We had a Bluetooth speaker showed up. I've only encountered Bluetooth speakers probably 3 or 4 times in the 2 years that I've been doing this. And of course, it has to show up on the stereotypical worst possible scenario peak ever. So, there were way too many people. But the funny thing is, the rest of the trail wasn't terrible. I mean, there's people here and there, but the rest of the trail was pretty, you know, there were pockets of solitude all throughout the trail. But the minute I got to that peak, oh, I'm gonna have PTSD flashbacks of that thing for like the rest of my life. I have to go to therapy just because I hiked with a bunch of people. But the misery index then, which we measure on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being a pipe dream, that's no misery, and I'm of course always to 1 degree or another miserable. And 5, of course, being the worst possible thing ever, the most miserable I could ever be. And I often break the scale. It was a 5 billion when I was at that peak. That peak, that will haunt my dreams for the rest of my existence. But it's okay. We're gonna have to let the fear go because we are headed back. I'm headed back to my car. I'm headed back to the trailhead. And I'm headed back to the beautiful Pacific Ocean. But that is our trail rating today. That is our misery index today, and here you go. There's your moment of zen right there. All right. Well, if you can hear that, that is the traffic on Highway 101 buzzing by at 100 miles an hour. I'm gonna have to go and literally dodgeball that in just a moment. But what that also means is we are almost back to the trailhead and thus almost back to my car. So this is gonna have to be goodbye. But before we conclude and before I go get smashed on asphalt, quick recap. And I'll do this as fast as I can because I'm really eager to A, avoid anybody who might be coming up behind me, and B, get smashed on asphalt. So today we did the Neahkahnie Peak here in Oswald West State Park on the Oregon coast. We saw some beautiful forests. We saw quite a few downed trees and my knees are still aching from having to crawl over them. We saw some good views, but unfortunately, we also saw the mountain peak from social hell. I've already gone into detail about it, so I'm not going to relive it because I'm literally having a flashback just thinking about it. But yeah, that's what we did today. But alas, it's time to say goodbye. So you know what's coming. Apparently a semi. Oh, and stay introverted, everyone. And if I don't die, I'll see you on the next adventure. I'm not Frogger.